About 5,200 years ago, at the end of the Dwapara Yuga, a deadly empire of darkness and injustice had spread on the earth. The influence of the evil king Kansa was growing and the world was living in fear. Mother Earth took refuge in Lord Vishnu to cure her sorrow and prayed, "O Lord, too much sin has increased on earth. I am fed up with the burden of evil spirits. Please save me." Lord Vishnu reassured, "Don't worry, Mother. I will incarnate on earth as Sri Krishna and Balram and destroy the evil." The city of Mathura was ruled by a cruel and deceitful king. His name was Kansa. He dethroned his father Ugrasen and started ruling himself. People trembled at his tyranny. Kansa loved his sister Devaki very much. One day, Devaki's marriage was fixed with Vasudeva, a brave and righteous man. The wedding day arrived and Kansa himself drove the chariot to send off his sister. At that moment, a terrifying voice was heard from the sky, "O Kansa! The eighth son born from the womb of the one whom you are sending away lovingly will destroy you." On hearing this, Kansa's mind was baffled. His eyes turned red. He immediately rushed towards Devaki with his sword, but Vasudeva intervened and said, "O king, instead of taking my sister's life, I promise that I will hand over to you the son who will be born." Kansa trusted Vasudeva and imprisoned both of them. Devaki gave birth to 6 sons one after the other, and Kansa killed them as soon as they were born. When the 7th son arrived in Devaki's womb, due to the blessings of Lord Vishnu and the effect of Yogmaya, the womb was transferred to Vasudeva's second wife Rohini. Due to this miracle, there was no child in Devaki's womb, and Kansa realized that she had miscarried. This child became famous as Balram and grew up in Gokul. The entire city of Mathura was quiet. The 8th evening of Shravanvad came. Dark clouds covered the sky. It was midnight. Devaki and Vasudev were sitting patiently in the prison. At that time, suddenly a divine light burst out. The prison guards fell asleep and the locks opened. Suddenly, Lord Krishna was born from Devaki's womb. Peacock crown on the head, Vajanti garland around the neck, Komodki make in hand, and beautiful feet like lotus. His divine incarnation took place in a simple silent night. At that time, Vasudev and Devaki bowed down to the feet of the Lord. Krishna said, "Mother, Father, do not be afraid. Now go to Gokul to protect me. Leave me at Nand Baba's house and come back with Yashoda's child." Vasudev put Krishna in a basket and went out of the prison. It was surprising that all the locks of the prison were open and the guards were fast asleep. Vasudev carried Krishna on his head and started walking towards the river Yamuna. That night was dark. It was drizzling. The river Yamuna was flowing high. A fierce current was flowing in the river valley. Vasudev stepped into the river and stepped forward. The water rose up to Vasudev's shoulders. At that time, Yamunaji was determined to touch Krishna's holy feet. One by one, the waters of Yamuna suddenly became calm. Suddenly, Sheshnag appeared from the sky. Sheshnag spread his huge wings and protected Vasudev and the child Krishna. Krishna did not dry up even in the storm, as if nature itself was pleased by his sight. Vasudev crossed the Yamuna and reached Nanda Baba's house. Their mother Yashoda was sleeping and a child was sleeping peacefully near her. Vasudev gently placed Krishna in Yashoda's lap and returned with the child. When Vasudev returned to the prison, the locks were again closed and the guards were sleeping. Seeing the child in Devaki's hands, Kansa ran there. He tried to pull the child and throw him on a stone, but the child flew into the sky and appeared in the form of Maya Devi and said, Kansa, the one who is going to kill you has been born in Gokul. Hearing this, Kansa was confused and fear filled his heart. Thus Lord Krishna entered Gokul, and that night the whole universe was waiting for the rise of a new sun. Krishna started growing up in Gokul. His childhood was very charming and enchanting. Krishna used to go to graze cows with his friends and became famous as Makhan Chor when he stole butter and ate it. Yashoda accused him of stealing butter every day, but she lost everything in front of Krishna's innocent face. One morning in Gokul, Yashodama was hiding butter in every corner of the house. The daily work of Krishna and his friends was stealing butter. Yashoda used to fill butter in pots and hang them high. But how can you stop the mischievous Kanura? One day Krishna made a plan with his friends. Together they found a fun way. One friend was made to sit on his knees, the other on his shoulders. Finally, Krishna himself climbed to the top. As soon as Krishna touched the pot full of butter, he took out butter from the pot and started tasting it. But Mother Yashoda came inside and saw that everyone had butter in their mouths. Yashoda asked in a slightly mischievous tone, "Who ate the butter?" Krishna said in an innocent tone, "Mother, I did not eat anything, look." But when Yashoda saw butter dripping on his lips, she smiled and took Krishna in her lap. This is how the name Makhan Chor was born. Once Krishna, while playing, filled his mouth with mud. Yashoda chased him and said to him, "Open your mouth and show me." When Krishna opened his mouth, Yashoda saw the entire universe in his mouth. Infinite planets, constellations and Brahma, the throne-mounting scene. Yashoda was shocked. Once upon a time, a fearsome Kaliya Nag lived in the waters of Yamuna. The entire water had turned black due to his poison. One day Krishna jumped into the water and fought with Kaliya Nag. The whole of Gokul was watching this scene in fear. Krishna climbed on top of Kaliya Nag and performed the Tandav Nritya on him and defeated him. Kaliya Nag surrendered at the feet of Krishna and agreed to leave the river. One day Krishna had become so mischievous that Yashoda Mai got angry. She tied Krishna with a rope to an okhal, a large milk churn. The mischievous Krishna was still full of fun. He crawled along with the okhal and got stuck between two old trees in the courtyard of Gokul. Krishna pushed the okhal and pulled it along with the trees. The tree fell with a sound like lightning, and from there two deities named Nalkubar and Manigriv were freed, who bowed to Krishna and took his blessings. Once Lord Indra got angry and started raining heavily on Gokul. Fear spread all over the village. Then little Krishna lifted the Govardhan mountain on his little finger, and all the villagers and cows took shelter under it. For 7 days Krishna lifted the mountain and protected the whole village. At that time Krishna was named Giridhar Gopal. Once Gopal and his friends went to the forest to graze the cows. There Krishna started playing the flute. The whole forest was mesmerized by the sweet sound of the flute. The cows stopped grazing, the leaves of the trees stood up, and even the river started flowing peacefully. The sound of this flute reached the gopis and they left everything and ran towards Krishna. That night, on the banks of the Yamuna in the moonlight, Krishna performed Ras Leela with the gopis, a ras where Krishna danced with each gopi separately, as if he was in each one's mind. Kans made many attempts, but he could not kill Krishna. Finally, Kans hatched a conspiracy. He sent Akrur to Gokul and said, "Call Krishna and Balram to Mathura, for a great bow-breaking contest has been planned there." Akrur arrived at Gokul and asked Krishna and Balram to come to Mathura. The gopis and the people of Gokul were saddened. Krishna and Balram arrived at Mathura, where they were given a grand welcome. After passing through the colorful bazaars of Mathura, Krishna and Balram reached a huge hall decorated with kushs. There was a huge bow placed there, which everyone tried to lift, but no one could. Krishna lifted the bow in one stroke and broke it into two pieces. The archers were alarmed. Hearing this, Kansa was frightened and sent the terrible demons Chanur and Mushtik against Krishna and Balram for a Malyudha. Balrama defeated Mushtik and Krishna defeated Chanur. Now Kansa was filled with fear. Krishna went straight to the throne, caught hold of Kansa, fought and finally killed Kansa. The city of Mathura resounded with joy. People celebrated. Gods showered flowers. And thus, Krishna completed his first great task on earth. Yadukulanandan Krishna fulfilled his promise of destroying Adharma. The Mahabharata war was of great importance in Krishna's life. When the war broke out between the Pandavas and the Kauravas, Arjuna was in a dilemma. At that time, Krishna preached the Bhagavad Gita to Arjuna, which is considered the best way to live life till date. Kaman vadikrastma phaleshu kadachna. Do your work, do not expect the fruit. Krishna Leela is infinite. The ultimate goal of Sri Purna Purushottam Krishna was always the establishment of Dharma and the destruction of Adharma. Every story of his inspires in life. The life of Sri Krishna gives the message of devotion, love, compassion and sacrifice. Jai Shri Krishna.